Hi, Dr. Sean Hubbard here. Thank you so much for joining me in the winner's circle. People inspire me every day with the stories they share. Periodically, I try to share those with you. Here's the question for today. Do you speak the language of victory? In other words, when you consider and describe your opportunities in life, your day, and how you're doing to other people, are you disciplined and very selective with the words that you choose? Who thinks about that on a regular basis? Well, if each day you wake up and you come to notice that you have more opportunities and more possibilities than you did several days before, or even last week or last month, you're probably speaking the language of victory. However, if you awake each day, you open your eyes and you look around and you notice that, the possibilities that I had today are just like they were yesterday. The choices that I have are even less than what I had yesterday. I suggest that if you're in this circumstance, that we can make some adjustments. Well, the first recommendation I'd like to make is to change the scale. What do I mean by that? Well, today I saw a gentleman, Mr. Jones. I said, "Hi, Mr. Jones, how are you doing today?" He said, "I've had some good days and some bad days." Now, a lot of us refer to our life that way. I suggest change the scale. I would avoid the seesaw reference and rather use a reference of well-being, a reference of health. "Mr. Jones, how are you today?" "Well, I'm not as good as I want to be, but I'm better than I was before." Okay, where I want to be is here, and instead I'm here. I would use one scale, a scale of health, a scale of well-being, a scale of victory, and we can see that go in just one direction. Change the scale. Another adjustment I'm going to recommend is to change the lens. Now, changing the lens becomes very critical and very important, particularly when there are multiple problems, multiple active issues going on. Suppose you have high blood pressure, diabetes, and asthma. Can you imagine how difficult it would be if you try to focus on all of those and managing them successfully at the same time? I would pick one, focus on that one, consult your physician, find out which is most critical and which one would give you the most gains, short-term and long-term. Focus on that one, get it managed and controlled over the next couple of weeks, and then focus on another one. Change the lens. Now, as a neurologist, I'm obviously going to be more attuned to medical conditions, but these approaches work for any human problems, really. Here's another adjustment that I'd like to recommend. Change the frame. An example. Imagine you have high blood pressure, diabetes, and asthma. Are you going to describe these as diseases? I recommend changing the frame. Describe them as health conditions. We all have health conditions. I have health conditions. He does. She does. You do. Our health conditions may differ, but we all have a health condition that can be improved. Change the frame and focus on health conditions. Please, do it for me. Well, sure, I've been in practice for about 14 years, and I've seen many patients throughout that time, some of them in the hospital, some of them in the office. I've never seen anybody who didn't want to do well. Every single one of them wanted to do well and experience the highest level of health possible. Many times, how well we can do has a lot to do with how we frame our problems, how we look at our problems, how we look at our own abilities to overcome our conditions. Of course, this is just not with medical issues. Now, I'm a neurologist, so I'm attuned to medical issues slightly more. I made several recommendations today with regard to approaching these conditions. The first was to change the scale. Use health and well-being as a reference. The second was to change the lens. Try to focus and make ideal one health condition at a time. Once we have idealized that health condition, move on to another. The third recommendation that we made was to change the frame. Now, if you have medical issues that you're focusing on, please don't walk around describing them as diseases. Change the frame and see them for what they are, which are health conditions. Describe them as health conditions. I have a health condition. We all do. And we can all improve on our health condition. I want you to do well. I want you to really experience the most victorious health status and functional outcome that you can. I want that for myself. I want that for you. Keep moving forward and keep winning. I'm Dr. Hubbard. Thanks for joining me in the Winner's Circle.